I've been making notches with my grinder all this time, but not forever. When I built this truck, I bought myself a tubing bender and a tubing notcher. And then shortly after I built that truck, my tubing bender and tubing notcher were involved in the great barn fire of whatever year it was, 2012. And now, since that time, I've been without a tubing notcher. I got a pipe bender to replace the tubing bender, and it works. Sometimes it puts some kinks in things. You gotta beat the die on and off of tubing because it's the wrong size, but all in all, it kind of works. I've got an exhaust bender over there that was donated by my brother. I'm hoping that'll one day be my tubing bender. I just haven't got to the part of hooking it up. Of course, I didn't have power in the barn. Now I've got power. That's on the list of things to do. I've got a whole bunch of dies for it, the supplies. I did use it in his basement before I took it out, and it leaked oil everywhere, so it needs new seals, needs some repairs. That's something for the future, but I did save everything that was in the fire. I just kind of threw it to the side in a state of depression, and there it sat for a while. I've been moving it around my yard for a while, and now I've got a nice barn. It's been here for a while, finally got power. Some of these things take a long time to figure out and sort through. When you're busy going through life, you don't always have everything you want or need, so you just kind of make things work. And as I'm over there notching all these tubes with the grinder, it just occurred to me that maybe I should pull my old notcher out of the scrap pile. It was hanging up near the scrap pile, and maybe see if I can get it to work again. I mean, I saved it all this time. I just never even tried to make it work because, I don't know, I was just too busy. So here it is. This is my tubing notcher. It was a JD squared. I don't know if they're still in business. Maybe they are. Maybe they're making bigger and better things now. Maybe they still make the same exact thing. I don't even think it was that much money when I bought it. I've just been living without it. Now I've decided to mess with it and see what I can do. So nothing really moves. I'm going to spray some oil on it. I got the drill hooked up to it. I'm going to try and move the hole saw. I'm going to try and get this stuff to turn, put some oil on it. I don't remember what this piece did, whether that hooked to a table or if it bolted to a table. I don't remember how I had it before. It might have just been in a vise. Either way, I'm going to mess with this thing.
What is this big thing for?
What?
What's this for?
That's a pipe wrench.
Is this also a pipe wrench?
Yep. Some people call them a monkey wrench.
That's a funny name.
Yep. Let's put it in reverse. Pull the trigger. Yeah, it doesn't want to turn. That's a problem. What?
Nobody could call a rhino.
What could you call it?
A 2x4.
So it has 4 wheels, right? 2 in the front and 2 in the back. So that's 4. And then the 2x4 means that only 2 wheels have power. That means it's 2-wheel drive. So like a car is a 2x4 because it has 4 tires, but only 2 of them drive. But a 4-wheeler, like that one, is a 4x4. It has 4 tires, and 4 of them have driving power. The engine turns all 4 tires. But in a car, the engine only turns 2 tires, and then the other 2 just roll along with you. They have no choice. So that's what that means. So my Rhino is 4-wheel drive. It gives power to all 4 wheels, so it's a 4x4.
So how about you could call it like the Rhino like Express?
It's the Express. All right, so Rhino Express.
But we have to first fix it, right?
Yeah, I gotta figure out what's wrong with it before I can fix it. I can't fix it until I figure out what happened, why it doesn't work. We know it's getting gas, right? Okay, that's step 1. It's getting gas. So what the heck is wrong with it?
Maybe the engine doesn't want to work.
Well, that's what's wrong with it, but we don't know why.
And maybe I have to put a new engine in it.
Whew.
Right? But that
Alright,
might
it's
take
not
100 days.
Yeah.
Why are you not pushing that button? It's not working?
Nope.
You don't know why?
It's old and rusty.
That drill?
We're getting it, yep. Sat for a long time and got old and rusty, weathered. But we just got some oil on there. We finally got it to turn after we smacked it back and forth a little bit. So that's step one, we'll get that part to turn. Then we got to take the blade off of it, the whole saw, put a new saw on it. Nice. Alright, there's that.
Next one.
Next, we're going to take the saw part off.
I mean, a different day.
Maybe.
They have to go faster.
So now I'm going to put a little heat to that because the whole saw doesn't want to come off. It's got no teeth left on it. So I'm going to heat it up, then we'll turn it off with the drill. The gas starts to come out. You hear it? When I make a spark, light's on fire. You okay? I'm not going to do anything to hurt you, buddy. You're fine.
You know what? When you turned it on, it surprised me and I fell over.
Alright, I've heated up all the bolts, loosened them, then tightened them again, oiled them. Everything's moving now, the whole thing seems to work. I've straightened this out. I think a bolt goes through here and just bolts it to a table. I didn't remember. I didn't have a new hole saw, but I got one that's pre-owned. I'll thread that on there. I'm gonna go bolt this to the table and see if it works. I'm gonna put a notch in you now. Well, I'm gonna try anyway. That's called a chuck key. So this part of my drill is called a chuck. And if you want to tighten a chuck or loosen a chuck, you need a chuck key. And this part of the drill is the chuck key. The key goes in the chuck and turns the gear. Just like a wrench, but a special wrench called a chuck key. Only works on a chuck. Alright, let's see if I can cut a notch in my pipe. Notch a hole in this pipe. I haven't figured out why it's so jumpy yet. I don't know if it's the piece, yeah, it might be the piece of angle iron hanging off the side of this table. I think I gotta weld that on a little better. Other than that, it made a notch. I think a new hole saw bit would probably work a little better. All right, I don't know why that took me 8 years, but now I'm back in business notching pipes. Perfect.
Wait, did that take you 8 years?
Yeah, it took me 8 years to do that.
No, it didn't.
Well, yeah, it did. I had this for 8 years. It was in my old barn when the barn burned down. And it was in the fire, and I picked it up out of the bottom of off the floor after everything burned up. And I saved it, but I never fixed it and cleaned it up and made it work again. I was just angry about it, and I threw it over there. I had a trailer that sat in the yard after the fire, and I just had the trailer packed full of stuff that I was saving. And then I eventually built this barn. And then I put all my stuff in here.
How long did it take you to put all your stuff in here?
Long time. I built this barn, it was a snowstorm, it was a blizzard like this. And I was up on the beams, putting all these beams up. I put them all together.
Wait, how do you even get them out there because they're so big?
I had a backhoe, the old yellow one that's broken in the weeds over there, that used to work. And I picked the beams up with the backhoe, and then I would get some cables and tie them up, and then get the other pieces that go across, and I bolted them all together. I poured concrete in the ground and bolted the metal down to the concrete. And then I worked from there, worked my way up.
And how rocks get in here?
And then I had to bring all the rocks in.
How?
With the backhoe. It used to be a swamp. It used to be real wet here, and it was a hill. It was like that. It went down a hill. I brought in lots of dirt and filled it in, made it level, made it nice and flat, and then I built my barn on top of it.
You know what?
Huh.
How'd you build those big doors?
With wood and screws in my hands.
Maybe you use a little bit the backhoe to bring the wood over.
Nope, I carried it all by hand. All right, I'm back in business making notches. That's exciting.
Maybe you should try to cut it back.
Maybe. Oh, let's see if it fits.
Maybe.
Yep. I want it to go there and there. Fits perfect. Look at that. Beautiful. All right, could have been just a tad bit longer, but we'll fill it full of weld and it'll be just fine. There's that. Oh, very good.